Carnival Cruise giving an update to the media in Mobile, Alabama. Simon Hobbs with the very latest. Simon.
And I'm afraid it's more bad news, effectively, Maria. Carnival's SVP of Marketing, Senior Vice President of Marketing, Terry Thornton, says that it's going to take now 7 to 10 hours in order to dock the vessel. So that leaves it possibly as late as 2 a.m. Eastern, after 2 a.m. Eastern. The reason for that, he says, is that, as we were talking about earlier, this is by far the biggest ship ever to dock in Mobile, and the terrain is very tricky to get it through. They say that they have 200 people already at the facility in order to help people disembark. And one of the major problems that they have is, as a result of losing power, that there is only one functioning elevator on the ship on emergency power. Therefore, it will take 4 to 5 hours to disembark the 4,000 plus passengers and crew. Passengers will have to carry their own luggage, but there will be crew at every stairway in order to help them down each of those flights of stairs. Paperwork is taking place on board the ship now in order to speed disembarkation, mainly customs, of course. Carnival also says that one guest was disembarked due to a medical issue. A decision was taken to take one man off. They have food and lodging clearly on offer for the families through the night, and that they will provide any additional information, Maria, as soon as it becomes available. But that headline figure there, that they may not dock until after 2 a.m. and then spend 4 to 5 hours disembarking, is very tricky for all concerned. Back to you.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Simon Hobbs. NBC News' Jay Gray is standing by in Mobile, Alabama, the ship's destination, with the latest developments. Jay?
Hey there, Maria. Yeah, over 100 family members now waiting at the port and have been throughout the day. They continue to get news of these extended periods, the longer it's going to take for the ship to get here. And then, as you just heard, 4 to 5 hours for passengers to disembark. So it's going to be a long time before they see their loved ones here. As the waiting grows, so does the frustration and anger. A lot of people very frustrated about how long it's taken the ship to get here, how long it's going to take for their loved ones to get back down and off of that ship. And so the saga continues. And, you know, what else can you say when they come to you and say, hey, by the way, after 4 days in such terrible conditions and everything going on, we might have a little problem. The tow rope has become disengaged. That was a blow to a lot of people here who thought that maybe by now they would be reunited. That's not going to happen until the early hours of the morning, as you just heard, Maria.
All right, Jay. Thank you so much. Jay Gray with the latest. When the Carnival cruise ship Triumph docks in Alabama later tonight, CNBC's Michelle Cabrera will be dockside to get a first-hand look at the damage, and will be reporting all day tomorrow on the aftermath of this oceanic fiasco. So what's ahead for Carnival? Attorney Andrew Stoltmann of the Stoltmann Law Office says get ready for the lawsuits. Andrew, good to have you on the program. Thanks for joining us. So can passengers sue Carnival? What do they have to show to sue Carnival?
The good news is they can sue Carnival. The bad news is that when these passengers booked their tickets, they signed one of the most restrictive contracts I've ever seen. It's a 6,400-word contract, and basically they have to show, in order to get real compensation, anything other than de minimis compensation, they have to show a physical injury. Now, the good news for Carnival is that there don't appear to be any physical injuries on board, so I have a feeling that eventually, when all this litigation is done, you're going to see very, very small payouts to these victims.
Do you advise passengers to try to sue, even if technically they can't? Or, I mean, will Carnival settle lawsuits to try to minimize the damage to their reputation?
Well, that's a good question, and I think we're already seeing Carnival's strategy. And what they're doing is they're trying to make a preemptive offer to these folks. And I think it's $500 plus a round-trip ticket plus another booking on another cruise in the future. Now, this contract that is between Carnival and these passengers, it is extremely restrictive, and most of these cases won't be venued here in the United States. Most of these contracts don't allow the class action contract, which is something that Carnival would be wary of, and there's a reason for this, because these cruise lines have had these problems in the past. They've gotten pretty smart at limiting their liability, and if these passengers can't show a physical injury because of the contract they agreed to, there's going to be very, very little liability on the part of Carnival.
Would you go on a cruise anytime soon?
I would. Now, realize, Maria, there have also been a lot of problems in the cruise industry that really haven't got much attention. Of course, we all know about the Concordia disaster, but there have been a lot of smaller disasters as well. Ship fires are relatively common. There have been big problems with crimes committed by crew members on passengers, and these cruise line industries, these companies, have been very aggressive in courting Congress to prevent the sort of liability that they're really fearful of. So look, millions of people go on these cruises each and every year, and there aren't a problem. But the bad news is, if there is a problem, your damages are going to be really, really limited. Not much you can do.
All right, we'll leave it there. Andrew, good to talk with you. Thanks so much for your insight on this. We'll see you soon. Andrew Stoltmann joining us.